One of the most terrifying angels in the Bible is Michael, the Archangel, a mighty warrior who leads the heavenly armies against the forces of darkness. Unlike the serene, winged beings often depicted in art, Michael is a fearsome, divine warrior, armored in celestial radiance, wielding a sword that burns with holy fire. His very presence shakes the heavens, and his voice commands the legions of God. When he descends to battle, the earth trembles, the skies darken, and even the most formidable demonic forces recoil in terror. Michael is not just any angel, he is the protector of God's people, the champion of righteousness, and the one who stands against Satan in the ultimate cosmic struggle. He does not act on his own will but executes the divine judgment of God with precision and fury. His strength is beyond human comprehension, for he was forged in the eternal light of heaven, imbued with divine power that no fallen being can match. The book of Revelation speaks of the war in heaven where Michael and his angels fought against the great dragon, Satan, and his fallen host. This was not a mere clash of swords but a battle of cosmic forces, of light against darkness, where Michael, with a thunderous cry, cast Satan down from the heavens like a bolt of lightning. Satan, once the most beautiful and powerful of angels, had rebelled, seeking to exalt himself above God. But he was no match for Michael, who carried out divine justice without hesitation. The Archangel's power did not come from himself but from the Almighty, and that made him unstoppable. With each strike of his blazing sword, demons fell screaming into the abyss, their dark forms burned away by the searing light of heaven. No deception, no lie, no temptation could touch Michael, for he was the embodiment of divine wrath and purity. His wings, vast and luminous, stretched across the heavens, each feather a blade of light that could cut through the very fabric of evil. Even the demons whispered his name in fear, for they knew that when Michael was sent forth, it meant annihilation. He was the instrument of God's justice, the avenger of the righteous, the unyielding force that even Satan himself could not overcome. Though Satan had deceived nations, corrupted souls, and led countless beings into ruin, he could not escape Michael's relentless pursuit. In the final war, when the last great battle is fought, it is Michael who will stand at the forefront, leading the charge against the legions of hell. His eyes blaze with divine fire, seeing through every deception, piercing the very soul of his enemies. His armor is not of metal but of divine light, unbreakable and pure. His voice is like the roar of 1,000 storms, shaking creation itself. When he speaks, the heavens listen, and when he strikes, the darkness is torn apart. He is not merely an angel, he is a force of destruction against evil, the hammer of God's justice, the guardian of the faithful. None can withstand him, for he fights not for himself but for the will of the Almighty. Even when Satan schemes and plots, when he gathers his armies and prepares for the final stand, he knows deep within that he has already lost. For Michael is coming, with a sword that burns with the wrath of God, wings that eclipse the stars, and a heart that will never yield. The battle is inevitable, the outcome certain. The dragon will fall again, cast down by the might of the warrior angel, and with him, all who follow the path of darkness. Michael does not fight for his own glory but for the glory of the one who reigns above all. And in that final moment, as the last remnants of evil are swept away, his victory will echo through eternity. Michael stands at the precipice of time, his presence a living testament to the eternal war between light and darkness. He is not bound by the limitations of flesh or mortality, he is celestial, an ancient force that has seen the rise and fall of kingdoms, the corruption of souls, and the futile rebellion of those who thought they could defy the will of the Almighty. His sword does not rust, his strength does not wane, and his purpose has never changed. Even as Satan weaves his deceptions, whispering into the hearts of kings, sowing chaos among nations, Michael remains vigilant, watching, waiting, ready to strike when the appointed hour comes. When he moves, the heavens themselves seem to tremble. His approach is heralded by a chorus of angels, their voices resounding like thunder, shaking the very foundations of the universe. The darkness recoils, for it knows that once Michael is unleashed, there is no escape. The battlefield is not just the earth but the spiritual realm itself, where unseen forces clash in an eternal struggle. He does not fear the legions of hell, for he has vanquished them before, casting them down with the authority of the Almighty. His very name means, "Who is like God?" A declaration that none can stand against the power he wields. As the final battle looms, Michael's wings unfurl, their radiance like a second sun, illuminating the void where shadows seek to hide. He does not hesitate, for hesitation is the weapon of the weak. With every stroke of his sword, demons are torn asunder, their shrieks lost in the storm of divine fury. Even the most ancient of evils, those who once stood beside Lucifer before his fall, tremble at the sight of him. They remember the first war, the Great Rebellion, the moment Michael struck down their leader and sent them spiraling into the abyss. And they know that this time, there will be no return. Satan, the great deceiver, the adversary, has spent millennia twisting the hearts of men, turning brother against brother, kingdom against kingdom. He has built empires on lies and adorned himself with stolen glory. But against Michael, his words are dust, his illusions shattered like glass. The Archangel does not bargain, does not waver, does not falter. He is justice incarnate, and his fury is not his own but the wrath of the divine, the fire of righteousness that will consume all wickedness. The dragon rises once more, its form vast, its eyes burning with hatred. It roars, shaking the heavens, summoning all the forces of darkness for one final stand. But Michael does not flinch. He has faced this beast before, and he will face it again, knowing that no power in creation can overturn the decree of the Almighty. With a cry that shakes the stars, he lifts his sword, its brilliance piercing through the void, and charges into the heart of the storm. The clash is cataclysmic, a battle beyond mortal comprehension, where time itself seems to shatter. And in the end, as it was written, Michael stands victorious. The dragon is cast down, its wings broken, its dominion shattered. The chains of judgment close around Satan, and the darkness that plagued creation is silenced. Michael does not claim glory for himself, for he fights not for personal triumph but for the fulfillment of divine justice. He turns, his gaze piercing through the remnants of the battlefield, ensuring that no shadow remains. The war is over. The kingdom of light has prevailed. But Michael does not rest. For though the great adversary has been defeated, the Archangel remains ever watchful, guarding the gates of heaven, standing as the eternal sentinel against any who would rise against the will of God. He is the sword, the shield, the unyielding force that defends the sacred. And until the end of all things, he will be there, standing in radiance, forever ready. The battlefield is silent, save for the fading echoes of Michael's triumph. The darkness has been driven back, but his stance remains unshaken, his eyes scanning the horizon of eternity. He does not revel in victory, for there is no pride in duty, only the fulfillment of divine will. The legions of heaven stand behind him, their weapons gleaming with the fire of righteousness, their ranks unbroken, their spirits resolute. Though the great war has been won, the Archangel knows his task is never truly finished. Michael's presence is not merely a force of destruction against evil but a shield for the faithful, an unbreakable wall between the people of God and the remnants of darkness that still seek to claw their way back into creation. He moves unseen among the nations, his power felt in moments of divine intervention, in battles where the righteous are upheld, in the whispered prayers of those who call upon the name of the Almighty. He is the unseen protector, the silent warrior whose presence is known only when evil is vanquished before it can strike. Time is nothing to him. He has existed since the dawn of creation, watching as mankind was formed, as empires rose and fell, as history unfolded according to the divine plan. He was there when Moses led the Israelites from Egypt, when Daniel stood in defiance of kings, when Christ himself walked the earth, sealing the fate of the enemy with his sacrifice. He was there when the early church was persecuted, when martyrs stood unshaken before the flames, when kingdoms waged war over the truth. Always watching, always fighting, never resting. Though Satan has been cast down, his influence lingers in the hearts of the rebellious, those who still seek to defy the will of the Almighty. But Michael is relentless. He does not sleep, does not grow weary, does not falter. The spiritual war continues, unseen to mortal eyes but raging in the heavens, where angels and demons clash beyond the veil of human understanding. He stands at the forefront, his sword forever raised, his purpose unchanging. The earth turns, generations pass, but Michael remains, waiting for the final moment, the last call, when all things will be made new. Until then, he watches, guarding the gates of heaven, walking among the nations as an unseen force of divine justice. His presence is felt in the whispers of angels, in the protection of the faithful, in the moments when evil is struck down before it can spread. And when the end of days comes, when the final trumpet sounds and the heavens are torn open, Michael will rise again, leading the armies of light for the last time. He will stand at the right hand of the Almighty, his blade gleaming with the fire of judgment, ready to cast down any who would defy the divine will. And when the battle is done, when Satan and his legions are sealed away for eternity, when the new heaven and new earth are revealed, Michael will remain, standing as he always has, the eternal guardian, the warrior of God, the terror of the wicked, and the protector of the righteous. For he is Michael, the great prince, the commander of the heavenly hosts, the unyielding sword of justice. And his watch will never end. The heavens shine with a brilliance unseen since the beginning of time. The war is over, the final judgment has passed, and creation itself is renewed. Evil is no more. The adversary, the great deceiver, the ancient dragon, has been cast into the lake of fire, never to rise again. The voices of the redeemed echo through eternity, a song of victory that can never be silenced. The light of the Almighty fills all things, and there is no more need for war, no more battles to fight, no more darkness to resist. And yet, Michael stands. Though his sword is lowered and his armor bears no scars, he remains at his post. He has seen the rise and fall of creation, fought in battles beyond human comprehension, and fulfilled every command given to him by the Most High. He has led the hosts of heaven to victory, cast down the greatest of all enemies, and ensured that righteousness has prevailed. There is nothing left to oppose, nothing left to guard against. For the first time in eternity, the warrior angel knows peace. He gazes upon the new creation, a world untainted by sin, untouched by corruption. No more cries of suffering reach his ears, no more wicked schemes unfold in secret. The children of God walk in the radiance of his presence, unafraid, unburdened. The city of the Almighty stands in eternal glory, its gates open, its streets filled with joy. Michael, who has fought without rest, who has watched over mankind since its first breath, now beholds the fulfillment of all T. And he bows. Not as one defeated, but as a servant who has completed his task. His wings fold in reverence, his sword is sheathed, and his mighty presence, once the terror of demons and the shield of the faithful, is now at rest. He does not seek glory for himself, he never has. His purpose has always been to serve, to fight, to guard, to obey. And now, with the final battle won, he remains in silent reverence before the throne of the one who is, who was, and who will always be. The armies of heaven no longer march to war, but they do not disperse. They stand with their commander, radiant in the eternal dawn. The cosmos sings, the stars shine with a new light, and time itself bends in worship before the Almighty. The war has ended, but Michael, the great prince, the guardian of God's people, the commander of the celestial hosts, remains, watchful, unwavering, a testament to the justice and power of the Most High. For though the battle is won and the darkness is gone, his name will never be forgotten. He will forever be the warrior of heaven, the terror of the wicked, the protector of the righteous. And though he may no longer raise his sword, though he may finally know rest, Michael will always stand. Eternal. Unshaken. Victorious. We have gotten to the end of this video. Kindly like and subscribe to get video like this always.